yeah, if you're like, oh, well, my love language is quality time, and for instance, you're dating Janice, who's like, hey, these are my work hours. I cannot hang out during these times, and you just show up, that would be a problem.
Yes, and then guilting me about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not going to strengthen a relationship.
No. Welcome to the X-Files, a podcast about breakups, broken hearts, and moving on. I'm Claire.
And I'm Janice. We are breakup coaches, here to help you beat your breakup,
Heal your broken heart,
and move on to an amazing, abundant life.
Happy Tuesday, everyone, or whatever day that you're listening to this. Welcome to X-Files. We hope that everyone's doing well out there, and we're so thankful that you're tuning in. Before we get started today with what I think will be a very fun episode, we just want to remind everyone that if you are loving X-Files, we would love it if you would go over to Apple Podcasts and leave us a 5-star review and rating. Let us know what you think of the show, or just let us know how much you've been loving it. Because we are kind of in collecting review mode right now.
Yes.
So, shall I say reviews are our love language?
Reviews are our love language. Exactly.
Which is a joke because that would be the wrong way to use it, which we're going to talk about.
Words of affirmation in written form. On Apple Podcasts specifically would be a love language, right? So
speak our love language.
Yes.
Go and leave us a review.
Thank you. So why are we doing this episode? Janice is a little bit of a fan of the love languages, a little bit. And
yes,
Janice and myself, we both want people to know the truth about them so that they can use them in their relationships to make their relationships better. It's also a really fun topic. And, it's also started to become skewed when you see people talk about the love languages. They're starting to be used in ways that make them obsolete or even maybe harmful to relationships. And a lot of our listeners are exploring how to have deeper and longer lasting relationships in the future. And this is one way to keep things going after the honeymoon phase ends for couples.
Yeah, so let's get into it. All right, so we're titling this episode, The Truth About the Love Languages. So what isn't the truth? I'm kind of sad. I think that they're actually starting to get almost a bad rap because they're just so misunderstood. I've heard some people, even criticizing them. And it hurts me because I think people are criticizing them based on the wrong way that they're being used. So
yeah.
Referring to the love languages has become so ubiquitous in Western culture that surely every listener will be familiar with the idea. However, many listeners may not have read the books by Gary Chapman, gone to Gary Chapman's website, or even know that the love languages were devised by him at all. This might be a surprise to some people. I did a quick Twitter search the other day when I was writing the script for this, and I saw that just in the last hour, the love languages hashtag had been used over 200 times. Oh, and while I was trying to record some of the answers, it kept on refreshing. So people were just like constantly tweeting about the love languages. So I went through and I had so much fun reading what people were writing. And you know what? Out of all of the ones that I read, like 1 or 2 referred to the love languages as outlined by Gary Chapman. And many were used in the exact opposite way from what he intended.
Yeah.
So I thought it was actually quite hilarious. And I had to close Twitter down because I was so distracted that I wasn't even working on the script because I was just enjoying it so much. And there were so many. So wow. I did pull some of my favorites. All right. I think I pulled my top 10. Okay. We'll figure it out together is a love language. No, it's not. Not okay, nice. This is hilarious. Not having to ask is one of my love languages. Yeah, let's not communicate with our partner, right? Sorry, I'm
Yeah.
going to be so snarky.
They should just
Okay.
automatically know exactly how to make us happy without having to be told. And
Right.
I get it. I've also gotten mad at partners in the past because they didn't just automatically know, and I'm like, I can't give you the cheat codes. Like,
Yeah, I feel like doing something without being asked, could maybe score someone extra points.
Yeah.
And certainly if someone can, volunteer to help or just kind of intuitively know that it's good to offer this or that,
Yeah.
I think that's wonderful. And, I would certainly give extra points if, someone I was dating did that.
Yeah.
But, if they don't, they're not a mind reader. So
yeah.
this is a good one. Acts of service, words of affirmation, quality time, and physical touch. The right one will give you all of these love languages without you having to ask for it. So at least they're referring to the actual love languages, but I
Yeah.
still don't know. Yeah, a little problematic there.
Mm-hmm.
Sending me a song because it reminded you of me is my love language. My love okay. Okay, this one made me laugh. My love language is you dealing with my insane change in emotions throughout the day.
I feel that one
Yeah.
deep in my soul. So,
Okay. Well,
like,
right.
all of these are nice things to do, and things that if they pop into your head as something you want to do for your partner, you should. They're just not love languages.
Yeah, but being insane through the day, I don't know.
Oh, well, the insane change in emotions. So,
Okay.
yeah. So, being on birth control, basically.
Gotcha.
That'll do it.
Us, our, we is a love language. Okay, this one's good. My love language is acts of service. If I ask you for a glass of water, I need you to stand up, go like this, and run to the kitchen. Another one. My boyfriend knowing exactly what to order me at all my favorite restaurants is one of the best love languages. Cooking for someone is the most underrated love language, and it's just not spoken of or appreciated enough. And of course, I rolled you one is a love language.
No, it's so thoughtful. It's kind of gifts
Yes,
and
these are
acts
all
of
very
service
cute, but
in
it's
one.
Yeah, it's just complete. It's just missing the point, and we're going to
Exactly.
talk about why.
Yes.
And Claire knows one.
Yeah, my favorite is from Ashley on Girls Gotta Eat, and her love language is being right. And yes, I feel that one too. These tweets all illustrate the various ways that the concept of love languages is misused. These include my partner and I don't share the same love language. I'm failing to speak my partner's love language. My partner is failing to speak my love language. My partner doesn't spend any time with me or help out around the house. Those aren't their love languages.
That makes me so sad.
Yeah, and very specific actions such as bringing me food or the texting of songs being referred to as love languages is incorrect. Those are kind of things that might fall under a broader category of love languages, but it's not like an actual one of the 5. Yeah.
I mean, if all you did was send someone songs when you thought of them as a love language, I mean, that's not going to work. You're going to need a lot more than that. So let's quickly clear things up by talking about why these approaches are incorrect and problematic. At the core of the love languages is the idea that learning how to speak a new language, i.e. your partner's love language, is one way to keep the romance alive. It's one way to come back together when things become difficult, and it's one way to grow stronger as a couple over time. It's not about focusing on how you prefer to relate to your partner or making sure that others know how to win you over, but being intentional and caring for your partner in a way that most lights them up.
This intention to learn how to speak your partner's love language can be a learning curve. It might not come naturally. And it may be where some of the conversations around not being able to speak the same love language as your partner comes in. According to Chapman, the discomfort a person may feel when adjusting their behavior to care for their partner presents an opportunity to become a better lover. And who doesn't want that?
Yep. One of my favorite quotes from the book, and I just want to make sure that people know about the books. I have two different books on the love languages, and the first one is, the well-known bestseller, The 5 Love Languages: The Secret to Love That Lasts by Gary Chapman. One of my favorite quotes comes from that book, and it's on the chapter about giving gifts. Chapman writes, "But what of the person who says, 'I'm not a gift giver. I didn't receive many gifts growing up. I never learned how to select gifts. It doesn't come naturally to me.' Congratulations, you have just made the first discovery in becoming a great lover. You and your spouse speak different love languages. Now that you have made the discovery, get on with the business of learning your second language."
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, Gary. I want to really quickly point out, we're going to share several quotes from the books. He uses the terminology spouse. We will use the terminology partner in order to be more inclusive. He is a pastor who started out his career speaking to married couples. However, he also does think that it's an inclusive approach. But the quotes that we use will refer to male, female pronouns and the word spouse. But that's just because we're reading directly from his book.
When partners use the concept of love languages only as a way to talk about how they themselves instinctively express affection or what makes them personally feel loved, Gottman noted the idea can actively cause trouble in relationships. So you're not just demanding things of another person, you're also asking them what they want and then learning and putting in effort to learn their language as well.
This trouble shows up in relationships after the honeymoon phase ends and couples are required to navigate life together rather than the passion of falling in love. I mean, knowing someone's love language when you're first dating them can help, for sure.
Yeah.
But you don't really need it as much because everything already feels so good, And that's why Chapman came up with this, is because people were coming to him for counsel when their marriages were beginning to fall apart. Resentment can build between two people when it becomes easier to see how the other is failing to do things that light you up in the same way that they used to. But the love languages present the opportunity for couples to commit to giving to each other and keep the passion alive as you grow in your life together.
Chapman's premise, based on his own research as a counselor, is that most people speak one or two of the 5 love languages: words of affirmation, gifts, acts of service, quality time, and physical touch. So we will now explain each one and also touch on how single people can apply these concepts as well. So
I'll just jump in really quick and I'll say that one reason I was excited to include the singles part because obviously so many of our listeners are single.
Yeah.
And I pulled some of the information from the 5 Love Languages Singles Edition.
Ooh.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah. No, it's awesome how he's like taken the concept and tried to apply it to as many different like relationship statuses as possible. And
yeah,
so
I think
really
one
nice.
of his second versions was a version for military families, which I thought was just really sweet because, I think those couples struggle a lot. And I loved that he, wanted to give attention to them.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, because there's a lot of challenges that they face. So, yeah, that's really important. So, first, we have words of affirmation, which simply put is using compliments, words of encouragement, kind words, and humble words to connect with and build our spouse up. So there are many ways to do this, from recognizing your partner's efforts to how you talk about conflicts or within conflicts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he does. He has a whole section on how to how to talk effectively when you're having an issue with your partner, particularly if it's their love language. Says Chapman in the book, The 5 Love Languages, the way we express desires is all important. If they come across as demands, we have erased the possibility of intimacy and will drive our spouse away. If, however, we make our needs and desires known in the form of a request, we are giving guidance, not ultimatums. This is particularly important for long-term or married couples who fight about, like the day-to-day things.
Yeah.
I mean, I can absolutely relate. My husband drove me crazy. He would never help with the dishes.
No.
My goal for any future relationship I have is to never fight about housework.
Yeah. Never fight
man.
about housework. Yeah, I personally will not do dishes. But I will do anything else. I'll do the laundry. I'll do the vacuuming. I like that stuff. I don't like doing dishes, and I'm very upfront about that with anyone I'm dating. I'm like,
well,
are you happy with a lifetime of doing dishes? Are you ready for that?
Well, I mean, that's a conversation of how you're going to divvy up the work.
Exactly. Yeah, it's like, I'll make up for it in other ways. I hate the feeling of it. Like, I just don't like it. Yeah.
I'm trying to think what the equivalent for me would be. Definitely no housework related thing. I'm just... I don't know. Yeah. I guess I'm not going to cook dinner for you every night.
There you go. Yeah.
Any night.
Any night.
Some examples of how you might speak words of affirmation inside of a relationship are... So I just want to say, as far as the book goes, Chapman goes into the concept of each love language. He gives several stories from his own practice about different couples who used them. And he gives tips at the end of each chapter as far as how to learn to speak the language. So some of these come from things I came up with myself, and some of these come directly from his own tips.
Gotcha.
So some examples how you might speak words of affirmation inside of a relationship are: set a goal to give your partner a different compliment each day for a month. Write a love letter, a love paragraph, or a sentence to your partner and give it quietly or with fanfare. Compliment your partner in the presence of others.
Ooh.
And simply send a text letting your partner know you are thinking of them.
In the book, The 5 Love Languages, Singles Edition, Chapman encourages readers to use one's single days as chances to learn how to speak each of the languages. Of words of affirmation, he says, the world is filled with people who are worthy of praise. The single mom who works to support herself daily and to educate her children deserves the highest accolades. The friend who works through the pain of a divorce and comes out with a positive attitude, believing in the future, deserves praise. The coworker who wrestles with cancer while using her energies to help others is worthy of a whole praise team. And all around us, there are people who daily expend energy for the benefit of others, and these people need to hear words of praise. So, yeah, and like... This is, your friend who leaves a bad relationship deserves praise. You deserve praise for doing that if that's something you've gone through. You get a promotion. You deserve praise. Like, I would like to see our society start to have, instead of just baby showers, let's also have job showers where you get a new job and you have like, like a party to celebrate, because there's a lot of life milestones that we don't celebrate enough. So one place to start is with words of affirmation. For when you see instances like that, let's celebrate it. So
yeah, it'll grow, your relationships with everyone, and then it'll just get you more comfortable expressing yourself and giving this to others. Yeah. Which I think is great. And, I think people just generally like you more if you're very generous with words of affirmation.
Yeah, and also it feels good. Like, I don't think anyone's ever given a compliment and been like, "Ugh, that was a bad experience." Like,
Yeah.
I hated giving that
So
compliment.
true.
Like, you feel good afterwards
Yeah.
too, because you see that it made that person happy, and
Yeah,
so.
especially when it is, related to effort that have put into something. I do this clubhouse room, and not once in a while. My team is really supportive of each other, and afterwards they'll send me and Brian, the other moderator, just compliments on how well we did. And yesterday we interviewed Kate, a listener who's going to be on the show, who let us know how much
She
the
was
podcast meant to her, and
Yeah.
it just it kept me going all day long.
Yeah.
Because these things that we do, do take a lot of effort. And to know that someone sees that and also appreciates it is awesome.
Awesome.
The next love language is quality time, which is often believed to be the most common love language. In fact, the Shane Co. did an intensive study to find out the most popular love languages according to demographic, which it was a really interesting article. It just wasn't too germane to the episode, so I'm just including one little thing. The Shanko discovered that quality time was the most commonly Googled love language,
Ooh.
which I suppose means that either people are Googling it to learn about themselves or hopefully Googling it to learn how to relate to their partner, is what I would hope.
Yeah.
Either way, that came up in the most Google searches.
Wow.
Quality time is the act of giving your partner undivided attention, whether it might be a movie night, a weekend away, or dinner with your phone off. Mm-hmm. Reads the 5 love languages. The activity in which we are both engaged is incidental. The important thing emotionally is that we are spending focused time with each other. The activity is a vehicle that creates the sense of togetherness.
Yeah.
So I would just want to say, I know this is not my love language. So
Yeah, you're
I think
I
I'm very
don't want to
specific.
see you that often.
What? No, it's
'Cause
not that at all.
yeah.
It's, I mean, I'm happy to spend time with my partner often, but it's not what most lights me
Fills
up
you
for,
up, yeah.
for sure.
Gotcha. Yeah. I mean, I think this is one of mine. I mean, I like them all though. So, but
Yeah, same.
yeah, so I
But I'm
definitely-
just, if I'm just really happy, we both have busy schedules, and if we just get to see each other once or twice a week, that's fine. Whereas someone whose love language is quality time, that might not be enough, to really keep them filled up.
Yeah, this is true. So, speaking the language of quality time to your partner may look like renting bikes and spending the afternoon at the park or riding along the beach. That's fun. Think of an activity that your partner enjoys but that you don't really participate in, and tell them you'd like to schedule a time to do it together at least once. That's really nice.
Yeah, and I don't think partners need to do everything together,
No.
but I do think it would, really say something.
Yeah.
Yoga is often used as an example of maybe something a woman in a relationship may do that her partner doesn't, and you might just go once, and it just means a lot. The effort.
Yeah, totally. And spending time, just a little bit of time at the end of the day talking about your days together instead of going straight into like everything you have to do after work or something. Just making sure that you're not just like roommates, in your
completely.
home.
And if you don't actually get to see each other, maybe just having a phone call together at the end of the day, and just talking about what you each did.
Yeah.
What I think that would be quality time as well. In the singles edition, Chapman encourages readers to learn about spending quality time by practicing quality conversation. This can be done by leaving your cell phone alone while talking to a friend, looking people in the eye while speaking to them, observing body language, asking questions, and getting in touch with your emotions, thoughts, and desires, and then learning to verbalize them.
The next love language, and one of the most misunderstood, is physical touch. Very Well Mind points out in their article what is the physical touch love language. They say, note that physical touch as a love language is not all about sex, although sex can be an important aspect of a romantic relationship. A hug, a shoulder squeeze, a handhold, even a pat on the back can be an expression of love that is just as meaningful to your partner.
I love talking about this one. One thing that is very interesting to me is that I have read many people, and I've talked to many people and read about many people who say that male identified individuals will more often have physical touch than women's. And it's not the case at all. Have you heard this, or would you think that?
Yeah, not through my personal experience. I think maybe it's I think also here's the thing. Like, I've been in fairly progressive societies and communities throughout my life, and when I'm speaking to men in my practice, it's typically men who are open to contacting a coach and working with her. So, perhaps my sample size is skewed, but I would not assume that. I think that, I think that's probably like maybe a way that's culturally acceptable for men to like seek like showing of love, but I don't think it's what they necessarily crave.
Yeah, well, it's definitely not. I mean, I think most of us enjoy sex and want sex.
Yeah.
And I know that's me. But it doesn't necessarily mean that physical touch is our love language.
Yeah.
And yes, while a greater emphasis may be on men's sex drives than women in our society, it is not known to be what men will typically desire to feel loved by their partner any more than women.
Yeah.
I also think that physical touch is the perfect example of how the love languages are more about speaking your partner's language rather than your own.
Oh, yeah.
As we all have very specific ways we like to touch and be touched. It's not necessarily an indication of what our partner wants. I absolutely love this. I have dated men who didn't seem to get this at all.
No.
And
Yeah. That's actually that's like the showing that they don't love you in a respectful way.
Oh, yeah. Won't listen. I mean, listen to this quote. You're going to love this. This is from Gary Chapman, talking about physical touch. Your best instructor is your spouse, of course. After all, she is the one you are seeking to love. She knows best what she perceives as a loving touch. Don't insist on touching her in your way and in your time. Learn to speak her love dialect. Your spouse may find some touches uncomfortable or irritating. I can relate to that.
Yeah.
To insist on continuing those touches is to communicate the opposite of love. It is saying that you are not sensitive to her needs and that you care little about her perceptions of what is pleasant. Don't make the mistake of believing that the touch that brings pleasure to you will also bring pleasure to her.
Oh my gosh.
So good.
That reminds me of the it was the radio episode I listened to yesterday of 50 Shades of Bullshit that you were on, where she talks about how she like waited to have sex with the guy until the third date, and he was just biting her all over, and she was like, stop, it hurts, and he didn't stop. And yeah, fortunately she got out of the situation, but like, dude.
I forgot that was on the air. Yeah. Everyone go to YouTube and check out 50 Shades of Bullshit by my friend Christine Lalonde. Yeah. And I've had partners too who would, touch me in certain places or at certain times.
Yeah.
And, I would be upfront about not liking it and having them just be like, what? I'm trying to, I'm trying to be affectionate, or, you don't care what I like, and just giving me just a general guilt trip about speaking my discomfort.
Yeah. That's not cool. Don't do that.
No.
Yeah, don't do that at all. The whole point is that you're you're listening to what your partner wants, and you're you know, giving that and not giving the thing that they say, no, don't do that to you.
And making it all about you. And I think that this goes for in and outside of the bedroom.
Oh yeah, completely. Like, yeah, if you're like, oh, well, my love language is quality time, and for instance, you're dating Janice, who's like, hey, these are my work hours. I cannot hang out during these times, and you just show up, that would be a problem. Like,
yes, and then guilting me about it.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm going to unplug my computer. It's making that sound.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's not going to strengthen a relationship.
No. Yeah, it's about
And
reciprocating.
once I had a boyfriend when I was in Melbourne. Oh, I think I was just going to take the night off, and we weren't going to hang out or something. And, he sent me, and he always wanted to hang out, which was very sweet.
Yeah.
But, I've always been the person who, like, I want, a night off just to kind of watch TV and eat potato chips, or just, I don't know, go to bed early. And I know, and we weren't going to hang out that night. And he sent me this long message about how, he knew that I was into the love languages, and his love language is quality time. And so he would really appreciate it, if I didn't take the night off, and just, kind of using it to almost like guilt me into hanging out with him. And I was so annoyed.
Yeah, because it's all a balance. You can't just continuously deliver someone's love language like 24/7.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, yeah. Like, you have your own life. You have to be able to do what you need to do, and have space and everything. I think these are just ways to show, like, on a regular basis, that you care about this person, but it's not.
And each person needs to make the other person's love language their priority. And you know what? Maybe I wasn't in a place in that relationship or in my life where I was, actively doing that. Yeah. And maybe it's why it didn't work out. But whatever the reason, I felt like it was inappropriate of him to, try and kind of
exactly. It's like you
finesse
wanted one
the situation
night
by
not like you wanted to not see him for the next month. That would have been different, maybe.
And I think we had even like hung out the day before or something.
Yeah,
which, that's fine. It was sweet that he wanted to see me all the time, but just don't use love languages to manipulate someone into doing what you want. Is my point.
Bad idea. Bad idea. So, some ways to learn to speak physical touch to your partner include touching your spouse in the presence of others, which could be not in some ways.
I mean, if this is their love language, then, he emphasized a lot in the book as far as speaking your partner's love language, the power of speaking their love language when others are around. Yeah. And because it shows your partner and it shows everyone else, how much you care for them.
Yeah.
So again, exactly. And maybe you don't want to be touched, but it's one possible thing that you could do. Yeah. That could show them how much you're trying.
Exactly. Maybe. Yeah. Like I like a little bit of light PDA. Like, like an occasional kiss on the cheek, or like,
yes,
like
I was just going to say
holding hands.
When I'm out with people, wait, you say?
Oh yeah, I said like holding hands, but not like all the time, just kind of like occasionally throughout the night or the day or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah. So what were you
saying? Oh, I mean the same thing. I don't want to sit there and,
be attached,
make out in front of everybody.
No.
But, when my boyfriend, kisses me on the forehead, as he's walking by, I just feel, I just think it's so sweet and sexy. Yeah. And it's just, like the right amount. And again, the fact that he's doing it in front of others, I think does make it special in a certain way.
Yeah, exactly. It's because you're like saying like, hey, I'm not afraid to like show that this is the person that I have these feelings for, not trying to like seem like I'm single, And
it's affectionate and it's respectful, the fact that it's, something kind of and non-evasive, I suppose.
Yeah, exactly. So grabbing your partner's hand when walking from the car to go shopping or some other daily task. So like, yeah, you have to go grocery shopping. Like, that's a great time to like just, you know, a very, very light physical touch. Nothing crazy, but you know, make it
Nothing crazy.
nothing crazy. No groping in the vegetable aisles.
Yes, totally.
Yeah. No making out in front of the eggplant. It's not okay. So making a habit of meeting your partner at the door when they arrive home to give a hug, kiss, or more. Okay, so I love this one because, like, as humans, we co-regulate with each other's nervous systems. So if someone's coming home from work, like, yeah, some people may need to cope by having, like, alone time to decompress, but another way to like both get on the same like wavelength with your nervous systems is to like share a hug, because then your bodies are starting to mirror each other and you get to a much more relaxed space, and you kind of like get back on the same speed, because like one person may have been going 100 miles an hour all day and then the other person is like having a chill day. And so, you know, coming together and just like having like a good hug, you know, where you
that
give
makes
yourself
sense.
time.
Thanks, Claire.
Yeah, so definitely take advantage of these biological like shortcuts to get on the same page as your partner. So yeah.
And the fact that you are there and you're making an effort to go and welcome them.
Yeah.
I mean, that's gonna feel great. And then then you come together and kind of set the stage for the rest of the, you know, evening or afternoon.
Exactly.
With the hug.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So like that. There are opportunities also for single people to learn a lot about speaking the language of physical touch. In the 5 Love Languages Singles Edition, Chapman suggests learning about touch during this time by learning about appropriate and inappropriate touch. Very important. Learning loving touch to family members, offering others touch in times of crisis, learning to respect the desires of the people you are dating, learning to speak about your sexual and physical desires, and learning to become comfortable with touch if it's not something you're comfortable with right now.
The next love language is acts of service. This is such an interesting one, and I think this is one that can get in the way of some relationships. Acts of service are, of course, doing things that you know your partner would like you to do. These may feel unsexy to some of us and is therefore a hard language for some to speak. It may involve household chores, running errands, and other things you may not naturally think involve romance. It may not feel as immediately gratifying to you, whereas I guess if your partner's love language is physical touch, that may immediately feel good for you to give, you know?
Yeah.
Whereas this one, it's more about, I think, the relationship than what you're getting out of it right away.
Yeah.
And this is why I believe some people refuse to learn to speak it. Chapman points out that it sometimes also requires a re-examination of stereotypes of gender roles, which is why it can be confronting.
Yeah.
And I love that he includes that in there.
Yeah. Yeah, because I think gender roles definitely come into this, because if you're talking about stereotypes, you could have a guy who doesn't know how to express his emotions through words or any other means, but the one way he feels comfortable showing that he cares is like making sure that your like oil is topped up in your car and like things like that. And it's kind of I think sometimes for the speaking in stereotypes again, for someone, his partner who is craving a different love language, those go unnoticed and they don't see it as like him showing that he cares. And they're
in
just
fact,
like,
I think
that's what he
or
should
that
do,
she's
or
not
whatever.
appreciating it.
Yeah, that could be a thing too. And where he's like, oh, well, like, oh no, like it's not getting the desired effect.
I think Gary Chapman gives almost that exact example in the chapter on maybe even this, or maybe even the words of affirmation chapter. I think he gave the example of a couple who was having problems, and the male in the couple actually said to him during their one-on-one time together, look, I mow the lawn every weekend, I do this, I always make sure that, you know, the tires are pumped up, and, you know, she doesn't care, you know, I'm trying, I'm doing all of these things. And he said, yeah, because that's not her love language. And, you know, I think she said to him, you know, he never expresses, you know, how much he loves me anymore.
I think also this may get, like, again, speaking about that stereotype couple, is she's probably doing a lot of acts of service too. And she's like, your 3 acts of service do not make up for the whole day of childcare and cleaning the house and doing the dishes and cooking the food and all of those things. Like, I don't care that you pumped up the tires on my bike. That's not enough. Like,
I mean, unfortunately, there's been new studies that have come out even in the past year around, although there's been a lot more focus on, you know, gender equality and marriage inside of relationships, that still women carry the cognitive load in most relationships, and that still even working women, working mothers have still have the second shift where they get home and continue to work much more than their male partners. Yeah. And I don't think people realize what a big problem this still is.
Exactly. And even those in relationships where the stereotypical man in the relationship is willing to do the work, he just is like, I don't know what to do, or like, you know, I don't know how to do the laundry, but I want to help. And she has to write a list for him, or, you know, tell
and explain
him how
every
to do
damn
it
thing.
every
And, you know, why
single
would a
time.
man know how to just intuitively do these things? They probably don't have examples to follow.
I know, but it's like, they've lived alone. Like, I hope we recommend living alone.
No, I know
before you
what
get
you're saying.
into it.
It's just,
you know,
it's how
like,
to solve the problem.
How did you do your laundry before you got married? Like, you know, it's just, it's one of those things where it's like, did you just like delete this information from your brain?
Yeah, but also I think what I've seen is some men maybe did take care of themselves before living with someone, but then once they live with someone, it just like almost naturally the female in the relationship will, you know, start to kind of take it all on, you know, and maybe it's almost a subconscious thing between the couples. I mean, and maybe it's subconscious on her part that she thinks she needs to, or she just naturally does. And then the man lets her.
And then suddenly it's not just her doing a nice thing for him. It's like expected.
I mean, when I was in the relationship with Laundry Boy, actually, and I went to England to stay with him, I was really surprised and horrified that, okay, one day he was at work. I worked from home and he was working, and I remember he sent me a text one day when I was only there for less than a week, asking me if I would make dinner. Now, everyone please understand that I had never made dinner for him before, and I was very, very upfront about the fact that that wasn't my jam.
What?
And he was very presumptive about texting and just kind of asking me to take this on. And this is just a perfect example of how he just kind of assumed that now that I was there, I was going to do this.
Oh my God. I
mean, I'm sitting here speechless because that's kind of how I felt when I got the message.
Like, excuse me?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And this
and
was
I think
the same
actually
trip
at the time
that he like didn't prepare for your arrival. He was like hungover and stinky when he picked you up, and like, and within a week he was like, "Oh, will you?"
Yeah, he's like, so do you want to sort dinner tonight? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Do you want to? No.
Yeah. No, yeah, it was, it was like, this is your night, and also keep in mind, too, that I kept normal work hours. So it wasn't like the fact that he was at work and I was home gave me any more time. But it's a good example of how, someone just kind of assume, once you're living together, that the woman will kind of pick this up,
Yeah, Yeah.
And you really have to keep in mind, some people enjoy doing that type of thing. Some
Yeah.
people enjoy sorting dinner, and some people just don't. And this is the type of thing that couples have to talk about and be
Yeah.
open about, because very quickly that can become something that one of them resents. Either that the other person doesn't want to do it, or the other person feels like they have to.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Ooh. That just makes me so mad.
Yeah, I know.
So mad. Oh my God.
However, I have to say, if we had stayed in the relationship and I had come to learn that maybe acts of service were his love language, and honestly, I don't know. I don't know if we even talked about it. I would have, at this point, made an effort to speak that to him. And you know what? If I was invested in the relationship, maybe I would have started making dinner once a week or something else that was an
Once a
act of
week.
service.
Yeah. Once a week.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, that's yes.
My strategy is to just make dinner so awfully that no one would ever want me to make dinner, and we're good to go.
Or maybe a different act of service that I didn't find so laborious.
Exactly.
But you know what? Maybe not.
Yeah.
It's all about learning how to light your partner up. And if I would, like I said, if I was invested in keeping it going, I would have figured that out for sure.
Exactly. Like, I mean, I really, acts of service is one way that I love giving and receiving. I like receiving it like a lot, actually. Yeah, specifically with cooking. I like receiving people's cooking, and then I also like changing someone's headlights, or you know. So I almost see I was not raised in like the typical way. Like, my dad did all of the cooking, but he was also a mechanic, so I learned a lot about cars and like got to choose to do like things that I liked, even though it wasn't like, you know, within a gender stereotype for me to be like building things or like working on cars. So like, yeah, I like doing those things for my partner, and I like when my partner cooks for me. So I have kind of a gender switch of the stereotypes in my.
And I guess I don't want to say the opposite, but I would say this wouldn't be a love language that I would as naturally speak as it sounds you do.
Exactly. Yeah. And
But I would learn.
Yeah.
I would learn. I mean, my current partner's words of affirmation, and I know that, you know, I put a special effort into that. I would.
Exactly. Like, and this could also be like, say your partner really likes acts of service and gifts and physical touch. That could be buying them massage oils, learning how to give massages really well.
Yeah, you know what? That's a great point.
Yeah, so it doesn't have to be these like household tasks that need to be done. If your partner loves acts of service, loves receiving acts of service, you can do it in a way that is fun for you as well. Like, you don't have to force yourself to do something that you hate.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, so
But you know what? Some of them might not be as fun. You might not hate it, but you might not love doing the dishes or love making the bed necessarily. But you know, you'll love how it makes your partner feel, which is what I think is so lovely about this concept.
Yeah. So some ways to speak acts of service to your partner include not thinking of nagging as nagging. See a nag as a tag that your partner is putting on something that is important to them. So, you know, if they keep mentioning something, they're not nagging, they're saying like, hey, like, this would mean a lot if you did this. And so you can choose to do it as an expression of your love for that person.
Yes. I mean, I think the point with nagging is that some people who nag, I mean, you're nagging because you're trying to communicate something to your partner and they're disregarding it. So it's your opportunity to just be on it.
Yeah.
Rather than, you know, having someone bring something up again and again.
Exactly. And here's, I think, a common thing that comes up is that someone will ask someone to do something and you're like, okay, I will. And then you don't specify when you're going to do it. And so they end up just doing it anyway because you didn't do it that day or whatever, or you forgot. So my recommendation is when someone asks you, when your partner asks you to do something to avoid the nagging thing, be like, yes, I will do that in 30 minutes. Pull out your phone and set an alarm.
Yes.
And they will see, wow, they set an alarm for that. Like, I feel like it's actually going to get done. And, you know, it's just going to avoid these things having to come up again and again. And it's showing that you care, even though in the moment you can't do it, you know? And then the resentment doesn't get built up.
I love that. In fact, I put that on the list. You know, making a note of something is such a good way to show someone that you care.
Yeah.
So good. I also think sometimes between couples, the nagging comes into play because the person who feels like they're being nagged doesn't feel like their love cup is being filled. And so they don't feel as enthusiastic about doing something for their partner, which is another story that he tells in the book. Which is this woman came to him and said, you know, I have to ask my husband every single weekend to paint this wall. It's been going on for months. And, you know, he doesn't do it no matter how much I ask. And it turned out that he went to him, Gary Chapman, and said, you know, she doesn't appreciate anything I do. So basically they were speaking different love languages.
Yeah.
And so Gary Chapman encouraged the female to give more words of affirmation and to stop bringing up the wall. And then the husband in the relationship had his love cup filled and then was like all gung-ho in a couple weeks and, you know, painted the wall without her even asking or something.
Oh.
You know.
I mean, I'm
so
glad
yeah,
that
I mean,
worked
I do
out.
think that this is a joint effort.
Yeah.
Which I think it can be a really fun thing to talk about when you're getting serious with someone and to just kind of talk together about making sure that you always are speaking each other's love languages.
Definitely. Yeah. So learning about acts of service as a single person is a great way to learn about giving service to others. So you can learn to speak it by learning how to express your needs to family members and coworkers, volunteering to help a friend and then actually following through. It's important.
Yes.
Noticing that a coworker may benefit from a bit of help and then offering to do something specific, or setting a goal to complete one act of service a week for someone else in your life. So,
yeah. I mean, I think this also is something that's just going to generally make people like you more.
yeah.
And, you know, I was raised in a very service-based community, and I think that it's a wonderful way to live, whether or not it's your love language. And you know what, maybe whether or not it's the other person's love language. You know, giving acts of service, I think it's such a positive way to operate in this world.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So I think, we're to the last one.
Yay.
Which is my love language, gifts. So this is also statistically one of the least popular love languages, which kind of, I don't know, it kind of surprises me. I've always wondered if maybe it's the least popular because, tell me what you think. People don't want to admit that this is their love language?
I think so. Yeah, because I really like this one, but I feel like I don't want to admit that because then it feels like it feels like you're using someone. But
well, I mean, we're going to talk about why gifts are so important and how either giving or receiving gifts as a form of manipulation is the exact opposite of how this is meant to be used.
I mean, so I like receiving and I like giving as well. Like I love buying gifts for people.
Yeah, same. And I've come to learn though that me loving to give gifts, doesn't necessarily do the same thing for the other person. And that's been something actually really hard for me to accept is I know because this is my love languages, I've gone out of my way to make sure to give gifts at certain occasions and then felt let down because it didn't have, the impact that I was hoping. And that's because I'm speaking my own love language. I'm not speaking the others all the time.
Yeah.
I actually learned, I think that this was my love language simply by doing the tests way back when. And it makes total sense for me.
Yeah.
So Chapman has summed up why gifts speak so loudly to some people as A gift is something you can hold in your hand and say, look, he was thinking of me, or she remembered me. You must be thinking of someone to give him a gift. The gift itself is a symbol of that thought. It doesn't matter whether it costs money. What is important is that you thought of him. And it is not the thought implanted only in the mind that counts, but the thought expressed in actually securing the gift and giving it as the expression of love. And I will say that I think that is the thing that makes me so excited, is thinking that someone was thinking of me.
Yeah. You're like, oh, cool. You were doing your life, and then you were like, oh, yeah, Janice. Yeah. And I also like that it's that last sentence. It's not just the thought that counts, but the thought expressed in actually, like, securing the gift, secure the bag. And it's, I just like that because it shows that they don't just have an idea and never execute. You know, actions speak louder than words, and gifts speak louder than thoughts to some people. And even if it's like, it feels crunchy as an idea. And some people may prefer words of affirmation over acts of service. So words would actually speak louder than actions for those people. Right. So to each their own. Yep. So learning to speak the language of gifts to your partner may look like bringing your partner flowers once a week, picking up something that reminds you of your partner or that stood out to you the next time you are in nature.
Yes,
I love 1,000%.
Again, it's not about the money necessarily. It's the fact that you thought of them and then, you know, brought them something. I mean, I would absolutely love that and consider it a gift. And
or just like picking flowers, like wild flowers.
Oh yes,
you don't have to buy the flowers. Write it down anytime your partner mentions something that they like or something they pay special attention to, and then get it for them the next birthday or holiday. So just like have it in your notes app and just pull it out on the sly. Get something living for them, such as a houseplant or a tree. I'm very torn on getting people animals.
Oh, God, no.
Yeah, I highly don't recommend it, even though studies have shown that animals are still well taken care of. And when giving as gifts, it's like giving someone a responsibility that they now have to see out for the rest of that animal's life. Like,
yes. And also,
they should make that decision themselves. You know.
Well, and unless you're in a very long-term relationship, let's just keep pets out of the equation. You know, couples don't need to that complication.
No tortoises. They live like 75 years. Like
I would take a tortoise. I still really want one.
Nice. Or getting just like a subscription box or something.
Yeah, I love subscription boxes as gifts because, you know, the person gets something every month. Yeah. And it's something based on what their interests are. Yeah. And so I think that if your partner's love language is gifts, that's just the perfect present.
Yeah. I personally don't like gift cards as gifts because it's just like the thought isn't there. Like the whole thing is that you thought of someone and you walked around and you were like, will they like this, you know? Yeah, so
I mean, I kind of agree. I love to shop, so yeah, I'm not gonna say no. Yeah, but yes, I would say if your partner's love language is gifts, then you might want to get a little more creative.
Exactly.
It's not gonna have the same impact as getting something that is specifically for them. I can say from personal experience.
Yeah, like gift cards are like for people maybe you don't know as well. You know, I think that's like a perfectly 1,000%. Fine gift. It's just not like.
I mean, the only one exception that I would give, however, is that if you gave a gift card to a very specific place. Yeah. Yeah. I got someone a gift card once to like this Dutch bakery, that was near where they lived, because I knew that they were into that type of food and that I wasn't sure if they knew about this bakery or not.
Yeah, and you couldn't really order them the actual stuff, because like shipping and like getting it to them while
Right.
it's still fresh and everything, or like if they have any allergies or something. So yeah, so yeah, that's just, those are my feelings about gift cards for what it's worth. Feel free to disagree. But
Yep, agreed. Yes, I'm just thinking of some presents that I've got recently, and I'm stoked. Did I tell you that I went to the Frida immersive experience with David?
Yeah.
It was so cool.
Oh my goodness.
It was
Experiences as gifts, I think, are on point.
And you know what? We had this VIP package, and it came with a gift bag. And it was so cool. And then in addition to that, it had all these goodies in it, including like a bunch of stuff from L'Occitane. Is that how you pronounce it?
Oh.
L'Occitane?
I don't know, but I do. It's like L'Occitane. Or
Yeah, I love that
L'Occitane.
brand so much. And then, the immersive experience was something that you would kind of walk around to do. But with our ticket, we got to go and sit on a couch, like up on this platform while we watched it. It was
Oh my
so
God.
cool. I'm still just over the moon. I'm still absolutely thrilled with the whole thing.
That sounds so fun.
He's speaking my language.
Ooh, yeah.
All right. As for learning about speaking gifts as a single person, some ideas include learning about appropriate time to give gifts, learning this is something that he talked about, learning when a gift is a gift and when it's not a gift, which he specifically says if you are giving a gift to someone, if you hope to move the relationship along or to receive something in return, that is not a gift.
No.
And I think that's a really important thing that I want to stress is, and I've had this happen, someone may be wanting something in return,
Ick.
And that's not a gift. And so, it's only a gift if you're just giving it for the hell of it.
Yeah.
Or, well, not for the hell of it.
Because it'll make the other person
to
happy.
make the other person happy.
Not because it'll make them act in a way that you want them to act.
Right.
Unless that's just be happy. I guess that's fine.
Yes. And just be happy that they're happy.
Yeah.
And regardless of, how they act, or, you hope that someone is appreciative, but
Yeah.
he also talked about, as far as this concept of learning appropriate times to give gifts, he talked about how you can really learn about this in dating, and gave the story of a man who had been only on a few dates with a particular woman and got her some extravagant present. I think it was her birthday, but still, it was just, I don't remember what it was, but it was just way over the top. And the woman actually didn't even feel comfortable accepting it.
Yeah.
And he went back to Gary Chapman and said, look, I'm trying, look at what I did. And Gary Chapman was like, yeah, but that's not an appropriate time to give that gift.
Yeah.
Because, you don't know her very well.
Yeah.
And so that's something to learn as a single person.
Exactly.
More ways to learn about giving gifts as a single person. Focusing on giving friends gifts on their birthdays. Getting people surprises, and I put this one in here.
Ding, ding, ding.
Giving yourself gifts.
Yeah.
Honestly, because I am a gifts person, I will get myself things for my birthday, and occasionally get myself something special, just because I want to give myself a gift.
Yeah.
And you know what? I've always talked about being your own partner and treating yourself the way that you want to be treated, treating yourself like a VIP. And I get almost the same feeling as if someone else gives me a gift.
And you're going to like it, which is really nice.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So, Claire, what did you think about this discussion of the 5 love languages?
Yeah. I think it's really important to get kind of the differences between the two, and like the focus not just on yourself and onto your partner and onto your friends and your family and everyone, your coworkers. I'm like, your work partners? No, your coworkers. Like looking outside of yourself for like giving and receiving can be two different things. And like ideally you'll learn to speak a new language of giving that will best meet the way that those people most feel loved, and they'll reciprocate in best case.
And I think the more appropriate way to use the love languages would be to more constantly or consistently be asking others what their love language is.
Yeah.
And if this is something that's important to you in your relationships, if you ask the person you're dating, or if you ask a friend what their love language is, it will naturally turn into a conversation about what your love language is.
Yeah.
And, hopefully that will start a snowball effect where you'll all or both be what am I trying? Both be attentive to what to speaking the other person's language.
There we go.
I hope everyone liked this and that we cleared some things up. It would be fun to hear from you in the form of a review about what you thought. So hit us up. And if you liked this episode and others, please consider joining our Patreon. The link is in the top of the show notes. We're very committed to continuing to build that over the summer. It's a way to hang out with us and support us.
Awesome. Thank you, everyone, and we'll talk to you very, very soon. Bye.
Thank you for listening to X-Files, a podcast about breakups, broken hearts, and moving on.
If you liked this episode, please help others find us by leaving a review on Apple Podcasts or by following the show on Spotify.
And if you'd like to connect more with us and learn about breakup coaching, find us on Instagram at X-Files Podcast. We have loved creating free and accessible healing resources for people around the world who are looking for support on their breakups, broken hearts, and moving on journeys. Each day, we receive DMs from many of you who have let us know the positive impact X-Files is making in your life. Our vision for the second year of our show is something that we both feel so completely. We are looking forward to continuing to share useful resources each week, but also expanding our offerings to help people go more deeply with their healing and growth.
Part of our vision is expanding the connection with our community, and to do that, we are thrilled to be launching the X-Files Patreon. Growing this aspect of our community will allow us to keep creating great content for everyone each week and also start developing even more healing resources and support. We would love for you to be part of the first group of the X-Files patrons. So head to the link in the show notes now to sign up for either the $5 or the $10 level. And we will both be looking forward to connecting with you very soon.